Here we got a 1v1 with some very good players. We got Zock playing Cybern. See starting land. This is FAF. He's taking on Lu Xun, a very good player. He's playing a Seraphim, also going land. You can see second air. It's very reminiscent of Voodoo's builds. So second air with a whole bunch of P-gens, so not going to the Hydra yet. Looks like Zock's going to go to the Hydra a little faster, so it's going to be a slightly different build for these two players. And also Cybern versus Seraphim is going to be interesting. At T2, Cybern's probably a little better, but actually a no shield game until T3 here. No mobile shields. So that's going to make it interesting. I have no idea what happens in this one, but I'm promised it's going to be good. Here we got a Celine coming out from Lu Xun. See, it is going to go onto one of these mask structures and likely go hold fire, and then it'll become stealthy and prevent NGs from building. You can see the situation for Zock. He's not going air, it's third air for him. And you can see the way he's building power. Looks like he's going to be going as low on power as possible. That might prevent him from using the overcharge. We'll see at what point he actually gets power storage. Looks like he's being very economical. And this Celine might not make it, so good hunters from Zock. Now looking at Lu Xun's base second air, he's got to really take advantage of that. Probably going to go a little heavier on power, although we see also a massive land spam here. Now we see a bomber, so Lu Xun's going to be the more aggressive one here early on. Although we do see these hunters. We just passed up each other. There's a tank and some hunters. And these hunters are going to run into the ACU, maybe, depending on how it's played. Most unfortunate situation for Zock, right into the ACU. And here comes the bomber from Lu Xun. So he's got some targets like these NGs right here would be a very good target. It just looks like he's looking, he's going to try to hit those hunters. Those mantis you see, not like the Auroras, these don't die in one bomb. And that right there was just ridiculous from Lu Xun. Bomber dropped 2 bombs, he got 3 kills, so he stopped this spam, factory spam. Now we see a Jester come out for Zock. While this is happening, we got to see the ACUs expanding to the first expansions. Here Zock getting the second Hydra with a radar. Very similar for Lu Xun, but he's not quite up to the Hydra, so a little more aggressive from Zock with the ACU. Now the bomber finally gets killed, but a very good bomber from Lu Xun here. He had to really stop the spam, plus forced Zock into making a whole bunch of flak. So early on, that bomber really paid off for Lu Xun. Now we're seeing this tank sneak in for Lu Xun. Might be trouble trying to get these mask extractors, so very good tank, and more tanks coming around the side. Now the mantis from Zock ran into the ACU. Now we see these scouts from Zock. Yeah, it's amazing this thing did not kill this NG. That's what happens when you have radar, but he's going to get a mask extractor. Some anti-air being moved against this tank. I guess he can make Cybern shoot ground. Looks like Zock is going to get a nice base here at his first expansion, making multiple factories. And he has captured his other both left and right expansions. It doesn't look like there was too much raiding here from Lu Xun at all. A lot of raiding around Zock's ACU, so of course these mask extractors will be in danger of getting hit by the ACU. Now we see a drop from Lu Xun. He's going to get one of these ledges. Looks like he just dropped off one NG, so it's 3 mask extractors. And this tank here from Lu Xun continues to cause havoc. 4 kills, now it's going to get an NG. It's a very good kill. It's going to be hard to get an NG there again. These Sky Slammers are chasing, but they're not really shooting back, so a really good tank from Lu Xun. And it looks like this expansion from Zock is going to be massacred, plus the ACU from Lu Xun being very aggressive. On the other side, we see a similar situation with Zock moving in on Lu Xun. And we see a plan for a PD, but might not be done in time. Also, Lu Xun is going to take over the other upper ledge. So extra 6 potential mask extractors for Lu Xun here. And here comes Zock. He just rolled over this NG. Very similar situation for Lu Xun. Zock seemed to be trying to counter, but massive numbers for Lu Xun. Zock should just retreat. You can see here Zock's going to rebuild, almost capturing this entire half of the map. So you can see how this map is turned into basically a vertical line here, and a wall being constructed by Lu Xun. He doesn't want anybody sneaking into his base, plus a PD here, and good raiding. Of course, here we got a T1 PD protecting this position for Lu Xun. No arty in that force, and some off-map, or maybe it's very close to being off-map action from Lu Xun. And actually now we can see Zock drops in the top ledge, takes back 3 mask extractors. So it looks like I am missing a lot of things here. I want to slow it down. We see a counter push from Lu Xun against Zock's expansion, but it doesn't look like he has numbers. These mantis should be able to kill off. There's a lot of arty in these. Actually not a lot. Yeah, there's a little bit of arty here, but the mantis shouldn't have any problems. Elsewhere we see Lu Xun is going to get himself a base, just like Zock on the top side. Actually, Zock is retreating. He did get a factory making edges here. He makes some PD, perhaps. Now the game has slowed down a little bit. We have 2 forces for Lu Xun, one on top, one on bottom. Looks like the middle is taken for Zock. Haven't seen any T1 or T2, but now we are seeing a T2 factory making Yoshivas for Lu Xun. This could be an extremely powerful weapon here. We do not see any actually T2 factory from land as well. From Zock, he has got some T2 engineers. Maybe he'll make some T2 PD here. And now push into the middle. Zock's going to lose a few units. He's going to push back. There's going to be a very even forces here. I can see it looks like the mantis should take it. A few arty here, a few medusas would have really helped Zock out, but it looks like he won't have any problems. The mantis taking care of business. This does cause Lu Xun to pull one of his forces back. And here this force on top, you gotta remember, has a few Yoshivas. It's gonna be very powerful. Zock is thinking where he's gonna go. Looks like he's gonna go to the middle. There's a lot of mass here to reclaim. It looks like Lu Xun has split up his force. He's gonna use 1/2 to do something about this raid here. It's a very nice move here from Zock. Just moves these units in. He's gonna wait. It's kind of like playing chess. It's really behind enemy lines here, and it looks like he is going to be surrounded by T1 PD. Really don't want to run into that, but it looks like Zock will run into that. And now we see this force from Lu Xun is going to have to retreat. We see the ACU coming in to help out, but that's going to signal for Lu Xun that he can push sideways, and Zock is in danger of losing this expansion. While this is all happening, we see Lu Xun getting upgrades on his ACU, and the Seraphim ACU with some upgrades. Extremely dangerous. We gotta remember there is no AN in this game, so ACU is much more prone to just going out and killing things. Now I see a T1 PD plus some rhinos from Zock. And I see these T1 PDs from Zock trying to defend, but that's not going to work. Looks like a drop from Lu Xun. It's only 1 unit in that transport. Now I see this video is very good for Lu Xun. 8 kills already. It looks like he's going to get some more. Although Zock did do some good raiding. Both players have significant air forces that they haven't been using. And now the middle is being taken by Zock with his ACU. And pretty large forces now, mostly T1 from Zock. A few Yoshivas mixed in for Lu Xun, so he should be able to take this battle. We gotta pay attention to this ACU right here. Now he's got T2. Looks like he's gonna make some flak. He really wanted to defend this place for Lu Xun. That looks like to be his strategy. And being very defensive here as well. He could probably push much harder against Zock, but he's content with just keeping that top position. You can see in terms of map control the advantage for Lu Xun, and we see this Yoshiva that has been dropped off. That was on a single transport. It looks like it is viable versus a large force of Mantis. It isn't being microed, but doing very well. Missile launcher from Zock. It's always good, but we also see some TMD here from Lu Xun. Interesting to see not too many T2 mask extractors, 2 for Lu Xun here. 1 for Zock. So both players putting most of their resources into their tanks, and now more raiding from Lu Xun. Some gunships from Zock, but we do see flak. And it looks like this T2 force with the Yoshivas, you can see how many kills these units have. Actually, nice counter from Zock. Need a lot more flak. It doesn't look like Lu Xun wants to use his air force to defend his ground troops. So while that's happening, we do have Lu Xun here pushing through, and this force does have a single T2 flak, so it's a force that can do damage. Now where is Lu Xun's ACU? That's the question. Now we see Lu Xun here still retreating. Now finally some T2 flak coming out. Well, these gunships from Cybern very powerful against ground units. A couple of those Yoshivas lost. Looks like Lu Xun is just standing back, probably wondering about these T2 gunships. And you can see this T2 PD already had 12 kills. Good defense from Zock here, but Zock is losing map control very rapidly. Actually a nice counter move here from Zock, but there's no way he's going to kill that many Yoshivas. And yeah, the Yoshivas just moved back and kill everything off. A lot of mass here, and you can see how quickly Lu Xun's here with his NG. He's going to get a lot of mass for himself, and now he can counter push. Zock is trying to push out of his base, but he is running into these Yoshivas. Now this gunship is doing some raiding. 9 kills in this gunship from Zock. A successful raid from Lu Xun. You can see this flak neutralizes the gunships from Zock. So we gotta say the Yoshivas that came out for Lu Xun really made him win most of these latter ground battles. In the beginning, the Mantis really played very well for Zock, but now a few of these Yoshivas, it's just like having a mobile PD with you with your force. Now we're seeing a missile launcher from Lu Xun. It looks like it's going to be a drop. It's going to try to get those units back. But that's just going to be so much mass for Lu Xun. There's really no 8,000 reclaimed for Zock so far. Lu Xun at 14,000, so you can see extra 6. That's huge on this map. I see this missile launcher from Zock really have no kills, in danger of getting killed by some missiles. And that's just going to be tragic. This already has that was loaded with 3 possible missiles, but didn't shoot. No, I did shoot 1 missile. There are some T2 mask extractors from Lu Xun. And a pretty big advantage in terms of map control now for Lu Xun, as well as control over what he can reclaim. And you can see these 2 Yoshivas are going to take back these 3 mask extractors for Lu Xun. And a massive push now against the Zock's ACU. He does have a T1 PD protecting, but he might be in a little bit of trouble here. He needs to start overcharging, but let's see Zock
he should have enough power. Needs 5,000 power to overcharge. Doesn't look like he uses overcharge too much there, and that's one problem if you don't have massive storage of power. Now we're seeing bricks coming out for Zock. These might have the potential to turn this game around. But we do see T3 now, some Autumns for Lu Xun, although the bricks, at least in my opinion, are a little better than Autumns. But we'll find out in this game. Now we see the bricks moving in against these PDs. Bricks just have such a fast fire rate, they decimate T1 forces, plus it looks like they are a little faster than the Autumns. This does seem to be a successful push from Zock. If he can capture the side base, it'll be close to even. Of course, we do have Lu Xun controlling these side bases. And these raiders from Zock have been given really hard work. 6 kills, 8 kills. But this T1 PD is with 9 kills, very good for Lu Xun. And now we're going to see this brick supported by Mantis move in against this force, but multiple Autumns in here. So it looks like it is a bit of an advantage for, although now 2 more bricks, so 3 bricks in here, 2 Autumns. And you can see the bricks using their range, just getting free shots. Elsewhere, not too much fighting. Zock takes his ACU back, and now we're seeing some T3 mobile shields. Huge advantage for Seraphim here. So at T3 with these shields, that really makes them most powerful. No stealth with these bricks. But yeah, we can see the bricks just running things over. Full retreat for Lu Xun. He does have his ACU here. He might think about overcharging those. And now I see some sneaky stuff from Lu Xun. Well, Zock is pushing on one side. He is going to try to get around. Some Mantis trying to respawn, plus some gunships. But we do see some T2 flag. And here is a transport with a brick for Zock. He's going to try to get this side base back. And now we might see some of these bricks get overcharged. Lu Xun moving in with his ACU. Zock being careful, retreating. You can see already 31 kills, 17, 28. Bricks getting a lot of kills. Looks like a successful defense from Zock here, which is strange. There is a brick here, of course. And now a push from Zock. They're going to run into a bunch of PD. And here's a casualty here. And then yet another brick. These bricks got a full retreat with this ACU charging in. So 8 kills, but very big kills from Lu Xun. And successful. This brick is successful at taking back that base. And more raiding from Zock. You can see Mantis even at minute 24 here, still used by Zock. And it looks like Autumn on a transport from Lu Xun here. He's going to try to take this base, and we see a brick. So Zock successfully dropping on both these side bases with the bricks. And now this is going to be bad if Lu Xun can shoot with these bricks. Maybe try to overcharge 2 of them. We've got to remember the overcharge in 3599. Get a nice splash to it. And we might see some tragedy here. Zock's got to start retreating. And he is retreating just in time. This would be a very bad overcharge. See the Mantis moving in, try to get cover for these bricks. More bricks coming in for Zock. And Lu Xun decides to retreat a little bit. It's a very even game now. Zock making a very good comeback. He was in a very bad situation about 5 minutes ago. And this looks like a very good rating now from Zock. And once again, the bricks move out. Lu Xun is going to get some stealth. See the kills here. 49 kills for one of those. Actually, a 5-star brick, though, if you overcharge it, it won't die. Need 2 overcharges to kill it. Now the stealth is going to be very valuable. Now Lu Xun can try to sneak in against these bricks. And that was tragic. And you can see that 5-star brick, his friend died, but not 2 overcharges. Yeah, that's huge losses for Zock. This ACU here just decimated an entire force, so now his T3, the Othams, can move in. That was probably the most important battle there of the game, with Lu Xun sneaking up on Zock using the stealth. Elsewhere we do see the brick doing real raiding on Lu Xun's top base. Zock's got to be very careful. He does have some T2 PD here, plus some bricks, but he's got quite a few Othams moving in into his base. And you can see that shield just dropped. He gave a lot of time to this force. And now the shield moving in. Some T1 PDs, and these bricks are in a little bit of trouble now. Another brick coming out. If Zock can defend this, he's going to have a lot of nice chunks of mass. You can see how this shield is just being extremely potent. And still T1 Arty with this force, very good against stationary targets. Zock's got to start overcharging these Othams. While that's happening, it looks like Lu Xun decided he did not want to go anymore. He probably saw the ACU didn't want to lose his T3, but now we have this brick from Zock doing very good work, but he's got to start getting microed, otherwise just getting hit by Arty. Tragic to see that brick die like that. Now some nice mass chunks, and Zock is going to try to rebuild some T2 PD. Now losing more base, and it appears that Zock is back into a situation where he is losing a lot of the map. And coming up on minute 29, Lu Xun has reclaimed 27,000. Zock also at 27, so dead even in terms of reclamation. Now we're seeing, looks like a base, something like a fire base from Lu Xun. Multiple T2 PDs is going to prevent any more pushes from Zock into this direction. So any kind of aggression is going to have to come from the top, but big problems for Zock here on top. He does have some T2 PD, some T2 units. There are some Othams, and Yoshua's coming his way. And more coming in that direction. Now we see this force that was attacking Zock's main base is just decimating mass extractors. Now it looks like some T2 bombers from Zock. These are extremely good Corsairs, probably the best T2 bomber. Extremely hard to dodge, very good against Navy, very good against land. If he can snipe these Othams, it'll be very good stuff from Zock. It looks like Zock is pushing out, but he is running into these T2 PDs. A very important base here from Lu Xun. And more bricks from Zock. And it looks like these bombers are going to get free shots on this force from Lu Xun. That is a bit of tragedy. Lu Xun getting quite a large force here, a lot of T1 and T3. And it does look like those Othams are going to be the victims of these bombers. Zock still has the side bases controlled. And looks like he is pushing out to the top. He's got some bricks in this force. He's got one brick. It's nice to see a game where it is very even and really high level. I've seen a stealth field from Lu Xun. Perhaps he's going to try to push forward. Now we're seeing this air fight, a big advantage for Lu Xun with this T2 flak. And you see these T2 bombers trying to hit Lu Xun, but they hit the shield. Really not much of a chance of a snipe, multiple Seraphim shields. Very bad situation for Zock here. But he is doing very good rating. He's almost evening out map control, and actually in terms of the score he is on top. You can see both players getting a few T2 mass extractors. You see a lot of power here from Lu Xun, multiple T2 power. Also a lot of T2 power from Zock, and he's got quite a few units on that T2 factory. And now we're actually seeing some Arty from Zock. These bricks really have carried Zock in this game. We're seeing some T2 bombers from Lu Xun as well, sniping these bricks. This bomber from Seraphim has a very powerful bomb. It's about 1000 damage per bomb. That was very nice. And here it looks like these bricks are going to be outnumbered and killed. Zock's going to try to help his units out with some bombers. These bombers are flying over flak, and here's a transport from Lu Xun. Should be shot down. And finally is. Let's see if these Artie from Zock can do anything. They are going up against Seraphim shields. It'll be very difficult. Some Artie from Lu Xun as well. Cybern very vulnerable against Artie, very weak shields. But now we see those shields get knocked down by those bombers, but his shield comes back on just in time for Lu Xun. Zock also has some stealth here. Now a massive force from Lu Xun. If this force moves in against Zock, no micro, just move in. It's going to cause. It's basically Zock's main base here. If you can do real damage against it, it's nearly over. Now both shields are back for Lu Xun. Now elsewhere, there is a little bit of raiding from Zock. You can see 3 kills in this Artie. Zock losing some units. So yeah, and it looks like instead of moving into the middle, Lu Xun's going to go around. And yet another T3 land factory from Zock has got multiple now. He's going to be making bricks on his expansion. And he's been very good with these transports, getting NGs to get a lot of mass. So a lot of good work here on top from Zock. Now Zock's trying to get some more shields, protect against this Artie. And actually 16 kills on this Artie from Lu Xun. It is under a stealth and under some shields. So it'll be very surprising if Cybern can do something about this. If anything interesting happens on top. We're not seeing any T3 here. And on the bottom, yeah, this T1 force is just running everything over for Lu Xun. Now here come the bricks. Looks like they do have the numbers that gotta be microed against this Artie. Yeah, this Artie here from Seraphim, very good against T3 units. You gotta remember what they do to your ACU, and it's the same thing with the bricks. You gotta really micro those bricks to avoid that. Very difficult. I mean, you can see it's some Authams and Artie is exactly what Lu Xun's doing. A very good combination. A lot of firepower. And there's no way these shields are going to drop. Actually, some stationary Artie from Lu Xun now. But these Cybern shields are holding their own so far. And now you can see the raiding forces from Lu Xun making it all the way around Zock's main base. And get some real kills here. Actually 15 kills on this PD. And here we see the last expansion from Zock. Very valuable units here. It's the T3 factory. A lot of T2 PD protecting, so doesn't look like Lu Xun is going to attack directly. He's just gonna claim back the battlefield here. A lot of really nice mass chunks. Now the bricks are moving out for Zock, and he is actually using transports to recover what he has just lost against that force. And he's actually getting quite a few nice mass chunks. This battle here is very intense though. Very surprised Cybern has been alive for as long as they have been. now Lu Xun winning here on top. It's going to be a big mass advantage. And we got to remember Zock has held these side bases for quite a while, though they're being raided by these T2 bombers. Actually upgraded these mass extractors to T2 and now about to lose them. So we have seen T2 bombers used here by both players quite a bit. It's very nice to see. Now we're getting a pretty large force here from Lu Xun, probably large enough to counter Zock's base here, although a couple more bricks might make a difference. But a force with this much T1 already just runs over anything stationary. Now the bricks are moving out for Zock. He is trying to get back some of his bases. And this is going to be a pure brick on Otham battle here. 6 Othams against 4 bricks. The Othams trying to get close, and they do. And now bricks don't have their range advantage anymore. Bricks got to get out. You can see in close quarters the Othams do have an advantage, although there were a number advantage here for the Othams. Big loss for Zock there. You can see here minute 40 Zock 54 reclaimed, Lu Xun 47, and that's pretty amazing given that map control has been for the most part Lu Xun's, but Zock using his transports to drop on all those dead units. Excellent work with transports for Zock, really have kept him in the game. Most players in this position would have already lost. And here comes this force from Lu Xun, although it did get bombed by some T2 bombers. It's significantly smaller now. A lot less arty. Now multiple bricks plus some shields and T2 PD. This force might not be big enough. And some more raiding from Zock, some mantis going into the middle, getting some of those undefended mass extractors. These shields just never go down from Seraphim. And actually a spider, how the heck did I miss a spider from Zock? I just missed a spider from Zock, but it is on the field here at minute 41. And that's going to be big trouble for Lu Xun. Although it would be nice to see the spider move in together with a bunch of bricks. And we gotta remember this is stealthy. Now Lu Xun realizing that he is in trouble, he's gonna begin retreating. But we gotta remember, if you get too close to an ACU, you're gonna get overcharged, and that's exactly what happened. And maybe that was a little too quick from Zock. He could have probably used that spider a little better. But he went for the kill and he didn't get it. So very good end to a very entertaining game. Zock moving out with his ACU into some Othams is going to be killed. A very intense game with some very good players.